Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. It is just on the daily right now. Let me just get this webcam sorted out here. Right. All right. There we go. Still a bit bright. Right, that'll do. Sweet, there's our new daily candle. It is the final daily candle of 2022. It has begun. So where are we? We did like a little bit of a wick down here in the final like few hours of the of yesterday's candle. It didn't come quite as low as this previous dip. Let's just see where and why it pulled up where it did. Yeah, fell short of like retesting that. So this could have just been like a fair value gap. You know, filling a gap. If we go on a higher time frame, we might see that. Actually, no, it's not really any like gaps that wick filled. It was probably just, I don't know, it's hard to explain what that would be. Maybe it's a move that hasn't completed yet. It could have just been a move outside of this trend line here. So we've got, you know, the support side of our rising wedge. And this was to shake out as many people as possible, as many of the longs, before, you know, moving back up into the trend. Perhaps. Someone mentioned Solana. There was a bounce on Solana. Yeah, it was bleeding out like crazy, and then there was like these final two, well, at least the most recent two capitulation type moves down here. Those two drops. And then we got this crazy reaction yesterday where it went up like 30% all at once. Almost 36%, right? Pretty crazy. And then we've just sort of been, or it's been trying to climb back up ever since then. So keep your eye on Solana. It could be pretty profitable to trade it. Just be cautious. Dogecoin, it's a similar kind of story. It looks like it's making a bit of an inverse head and shoulders here, potentially, right? You've got, you know, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Neckline is like sloping this way, which is, you know, could argue that's kind of a more bullish type of inverse head and shoulders, if it's going to be one. We'll go out to the hour chart. Get rid of these lines here. Hourly RSI has dipped quite decently since then. There's a lot of bullish divergence. Even on the hour chart, if you're taking a measure from like all the way back here down to that point there, it's quite a lot of divergence there going on. Enough to pivot the whole price and like turn the market around? No, I don't think so, but I think, you know, potentially enough just to see a bit of a relief bounce You know, some kind of falling knife, perhaps. It'd be cool to see if it reclaims 7 cents, Dogecoin, but we'll wait and see if Bitcoin even starts to continue any kind of like recovery off this this selling that's been going on for the last few days. Let's go down to a lower time frame here. Obviously, we're in like a very short-term uptrend, so we're on a 15-minute chart uptrend here. We've broken structure back to the upside. There's been a couple of structure breaks here, and if we go down to a lower time frame again, yeah, I suppose it is better to sort of follow it. If you're scalping, 5 minutes not a bad chart for scalping. You do want to know what direction you're going in first, and that's what the higher time frames are for, just to get an idea of the overall sentiment for the for the larger scale, the larger picture. So, I mean, weekly, you don't really have to look at weekly to know the direction. It's bearish. There's no change there yet on the weekly. So it's not even really, there's no point looking at it. Daily, it's a similar kind of story. We're on like a bit of a pullback. This is interesting though. Like we have made, we seem to be like holding our lows a little higher each time. Each time we get like a bounce. Not dramatically higher, but yeah, it is definitely squeezing. So there's, I don't know, like the daily chart, yes, it's down. Like it's obviously we're getting like on a larger scale, lower highs, lower lows. So weekly, daily, both bearish. The 4 hourly, this is where we're like trying to dial in where sentiment is. See, this is a bit trickier. This is where we're currently inside this range here. So this red and green line here, we've found ourselves like bouncing between that range on the 4-hour chart. So weekly, daily bearish, 4-hour. You could argue that that's still bearish since up here, like this fall here. We haven't really changed that direction just yet. But we're seeing if we can hold this low here, and if we can break that, that'll change the character. Like we'll go back to an uptrend. But yeah, if you zoom in closer, even like on this time frame, you can see that the most recent change of character was to the downside. So it's a downtrend on the 4-hour. It's trying to turn things around on the 1-hour. So we're getting like we've just had a change of character from swing down to swing back up again. So yeah, we'll see if we can keep breaking structure to the upside there. Solana is a Bitcoin. What's up, Greybeard and Honest, Jack, and we got Serrano and Let's Mars. G'day, how you doing? Consumer 76. So we got what, 13 people in the building. Remember to smash up the like button, guys. See if we can get some more people rolling in. MSJS, hey, what's happening? So yesterday, let's go back out to the daily on Bitcoin. Yesterday was like a bit of a, I mean, it looks like a hammer. It is a red candle nonetheless, but it's got the hammer shape to it. A bit more of like I don't know, it's a little bit more doji compared to like say your classic hammer. Just because it almost closed where it opened with a long tail. It's more like, I don't know, I've got to brush up on my terminology for candles. Is it a dragonfly? I think this looks more like a dragonfly, this one. But yeah, it could be a hammer. We'll see. We haven't had a good bullish engulfing since back here on the daily. But even that bullish engulfing didn't really take us anywhere, to be honest. This bearish engulfing really did signal, you know, the pain to come. But yeah, engulfing candles, they do like quite often play out in the direction that they suggest, but it's not a guarantee at every time. I won't go digging for examples, but you get the gist of it, right? It's nothing in. There's no indication. There's no indicator. There's no form of analysis that is 100% guaranteed. So I guess we just work with what's probable. Go back down to the hour. Let's do our whole 1 minute scalping. Let's do some hypotheticals here. So we've just changed character to the downside. We've broken structure right here. So we set in a low, came up, and then broke it. So we're still in that direction. Now this candle's 30 seconds left until close, but if it closes below this dotted line, then that is leaning toward more of a continuation of this very short, like this is a micro downtrend, of course. We're on the 1 minute. So RSI is on the weaker side, so it's in a bit of a pullback itself. So I feel like it is a little bit late to look for a short position for a scalp. So let's just wait for this move to calm down, and then we'll look for any kind of signal for it to take a long position. We'll try to line one up that gets us in the best possible like standing. Because yeah, there's no. I mean, yeah, we're dealing with an overall uptrend here, like on the higher time frame when you zoom out, right? But it's not. It's nothing too volatile. It's quite timid. It's quite tame, for lack of a better term. But we'll see. We'll wait for this little pullback here to settle down, if it will, and then look for an indication of a long. So we're waiting for a break of structure to the upside, which would change the character. So change of character, but green. Something like that. So what changes the character, I hear you asking? And that is when you break a high, when you break a new high. So this is what we'd be looking for. Breaking this high here. This is the recent like little swing high that we had. So no sign of that yet. Like it's, yeah, it looks like it's going to continue to pull back in this direction. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, we are late to the move. If we were to take a short here, it feels like we're sort of halfway, just judging by the price action and the structure here. We'd be a little late to the party. If we started breaking like higher time frames to the downside, then maybe that would be another ball game in and of itself. So it's you know, confirming a larger move down. So especially if we broke this blue line again, that would be another tell. And yeah, this is kind of like our line in the sand right here. these two pivots here, there and there at the moment. So you can see we're not at the extremes just yet in regards to this range. It's closer, I mean, it is closer to a buying side, so that's why I'm trying to find a long. Not to mention, this was a really nice retest of the blue trend line, because we broke back above it and we've trended back down to test it. And so far it's held. So we'll see if this little correction here, this move down, can set in another higher low. You know, maybe something like that, and then up to where this low would be higher than this one. But we'll wait and see. Could break. It could fail, like it could collapse as well. So we'll just wait for the sign. RSI on the 1 minute has it's approaching like an oversold type level here. Obviously things can stay oversold for some time, so we've got to be careful with that. But yeah, just looking for that hypothetical entry. Let's bring in another indicator, maybe a stochastic RSI as well. I'll put that up on top. So this is a divergence RSI indicator, and this is a stochastic RSI. Let me just change the colors a little so we can see it better. The background darker. Add a bit of contrast. There we go. So yeah, this is indicating things have cooled right off this little swell here of price. So it's kind of in no man's land. Like there's a bit of space between, say, here and this pivot over here. So I'm not going to open anything at this stage yet, hypothetically speaking. I want to see if it comes into the vicinity of this, like how it behaves off that level. That's what I want to see. You can see this, like basically from between these two lines here, there's a fair value gap. So this little gap here existed right there because price never came back into that level all through here, and perhaps that's what this little spike down did. It was to come and grab that gap and fill the orders that were sitting in here. So just in most recent price, we have not come back to this gap here that lives here. So this like sort of area here is a big old gap. See if we can fill that. Looks like it wants to fill it. It's probably a little bit more price to fill from over here as well. Now, these fair value gaps, there's no hard and fast rule saying it has to be filled. Like, price will often trend in one direction without looking back, you know, if the trend is up and strong enough. So I guess, yeah, it's good not to have expectations, like 100% expectation of anything happening. You just got to wait for the indication. Just waiting for confirmation, you know. But I might save that as the default for my stochastic. All right, stochastic looks like it's curled up, but there's no move up in price. It's just, and that's how I guess stochastic RSIs can trick you know, the just very casual user of a stochastic RSI. You know, that may fool you into buying just because it's done a cross on the bottom side. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get this like big uptick when stochastic moves back up here. I'd be looking more at the divergence or your traditional RSI indicator. I think this could certainly come down. It'd be better to buy a position or take a position when RSI has cooled right off below the oversold line, which is 30, the way I have it set up here. But yeah, I don't know, we might not get it. We'll see. We're going to keep it to structure. That's going to be like the main hint of what we're looking for an entry. So far we're off to a bit of a red day again, once again. I'm going to turn this light off just so I can look at the screen without getting blinded. That's a bit better. Here we go. We might be getting a change of character up here. If this breaks. So rather than taking a position on change of character, let's wait for a break of structure. See, there's been no break of structure here. These have just all been change of characters. Like it's just been very choppy. I'll show you what I mean by you want to look for a break of structure signal, not a change of character signal for a position. So if we go back, these have all been change of character. Let's go back here. There's one there, but I'm going to find a cleaner example. And let's just go to the first example that was on the left. So here's obviously this is kind of cherry picking, but this is just explains what I'm talking about. So we had a change of character, right? And then instead of taking a position at the change of character, we waited for a break of structure. Just to confirm that this change there was commitment behind the change. So it's kind of like a 1, 2, and then on the third leg is your entry, like when you've broken this high here. So this, if you zoom in, this was another example right here. Change of character, looking for a break of structure to downside, and we got it. So right here, so you open a position here, on a short, right? You set your stop loss here, and then you take profit as like 1.5 or whatever you want to target for your risk to reward, and then you just ride the trend until you take profit. So wait for that to happen. We need not only a change of character, but a break of structure. And this could be like a short opportunity coming up soon. If we get lower than this, that would be a bearish break of structure. And, you know, a possible entry to a short with the stop loss set just above what would be this swing high if price was to come down, right? So the entry would go there, the stop loss would go just above that swing high. And then targeting 1.5, the distance. It's a weird kind of area though, because of this this big blue trend line here. It's you know, there's a lot psychologically there could be like support in a lot of traders' minds at this level. We have done a bit of an SR flip as well. So we've come from resistance to now using it as support at this level. If I just make this like a different color so I can show it. So yeah, resistance, resistance, and then all of this activity has been support, you know. And it happened back here too, look at that. So we had another SR flip. It's been like a bit of a staircase. It's been another one right there. So we had resistance here and then support all through here. So that was another SR flip. I'll leave that there just to sort of display that. Or, yeah, help illustrate that for you guys. Who knows if this is gonna like work as like a pattern to follow, like where this seems to be our current resistance here because of our like the local highs that we've had. And then maybe if price was to punch through there and then back test it as support, that would be another example of, you know, a third SR flip in this seeming uptrend. Let's get rid of all these lines. Zoom back into the current price action. It looks like we might be knocking on the door of this recent swing high to change character once again. It's like every chance, every little swing we get in the most recent like sort of structure has been, yeah, just change of character. It can't make its mind up in which direction it wants to go. It's very choppy. D Johnny, how you doing, man? Good to see you on here. We got 16 people. Where is everyone? Everyone's getting ready for New Year's Eve, I think. Everyone's out buying the alcohol. Getting all the booze ready. Tell you what I'll be doing. I'll be sleeping tonight. I'm not doing anything for New Year's Eve. I'm a bit of a party pooper this year. But I am ready for a good 2023. Like, if that means bear market still, like, so be it. But I'm gonna be here and try to make use of the whatever price action is given to us. It might be a very difficult year, you know. It might be a bit harder this year than you know, 2023 may be harder than what we've just been through. Because there's no doubt this year the direction has been very clear and obvious That's the kind of trade that this is a trader's dream. All of this volatility is just, oh, it's a dream. The nightmare is flat. It's when things go flat. It becomes very hard to pick direction, and yeah, it's much more difficult to trade with no bias. You know, there's no bias, there's no directional bias. So I guess the name of the game in a crypto winter or a market winter is, you know, potentially that means accumulation, right? Just some food for thought there. Not financial advice, but you guys know what I'm doing. I am planting seeds in this market because I do think it has some kind of future. I think it's going to be here for at least the next 5 years, if not, you know, for a long time. But who knows what it's going to look like? But yeah, I think it's. I don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere. Exchanges may come and go. Other, like, you know, altcoins, the so-called shit coins, they may come and go. But I think Bitcoin is a bit more, what's the word? Stubborn? I don't think you can just kick that off the boat so easy. Alright, let's go back down to the minute. Oh, we got a bit of a wick above that high, so it was hinting it might have just been a little bit of a swing failure. I don't know, we'll see. Let's get it. Let's get some minute candle closes. If we get a minute candle close, I'll be looking for a long position on a break of structure. Oh, it didn't commit. Not just yet. Not on this candle anyway. Have you guys been finding this helpful, like this smart money concepts indicator, like looking for the change of character and the break of structure? Can you see the potential for how to trade this in this method? Let me know in the comments if you... Or even let me know if you haven't, if this has been a waste of time. Lex says alcohol has been bought. Very good, very good. Why is your Binance screen different from mine? So, I mean, this is TradingView. Not sure. It's just, I've gone into, if you go into settings, like chart settings, and you go to appearance, you can change the appearance of like the background and of the lines, and I've got a whole bunch of different templates here. So we got dark teal, gradient 2, stream setup. So this is what I've been using. Teal. So this is a bit of a lighter mode. Yeah. You can have a solid color. All just one color, if that's what you prefer. It's like this little move up may have been exhausted. If you can check the stochastic is like indicating that it's maybe looking at a move down, but we'll see. Could get another, oh look, here we go. It's getting a kick up, so this could change character here. There's a change of character there. I see it's measuring it from this pivot now over here. It's treating that as a new pivot. I was looking at this pivot over here. So if it can get some closes, you know, up in this area here, that'll change the character. Now in this indicator, there is a way to like calibrate what it defines as a change of character. So like how many candles it looks behind. Threshold. That's for equal highs and lows. I'm not going to use that, but fair value gaps, equal highs and lows, order blocks, swing structure, internal structure. I wonder what that is. Okay, that's the, yeah, those are the change of characters. And points 50. Here's a nice committed little push here, potentially. We're going to get that change of character that I keep saying. I'm going to wear the word out. It's going to lose all meaning. Premium discount. Equilibrium. So if I turn boxes on, you'll see those zones. It's just taking a measure between the low and the high. So we are sort of just above equilibrium there. We've bounced off it. Maybe that is handy to keep on. Maybe I'll keep that on for you guys to have a look at. And for my own sake too. All it's simply doing is looking at the range, so the extremes. So we've got the high and the low. We're kind of in the middle of the road here, so taking a position at the middle of the road, there's no, yeah, I'd much prefer to take something like at the extreme, like a breakout or a breakdown, you know. This just seems to be more like commitment behind that direction. And then let's check out just the higher time frames and see how it changes. So it's treating this as the range. Higher time frame, so this is the 5 minute, and then the 15 minute is like this. You can see it just expands everything. And then if we go out to the 1 hour chart, it's looking something more like that. Let's go to the daily. So on the daily, the premium is 25,000. The discount is 15.5. So we're still in the quote unquote discount zone, I suppose. According to this, if it's calling this a range here. So from a daily perspective, we did have a bearish change of character. that's the recent sort of swing we're dealing with, and we're looking at a potential break of structure. So if there's commitment behind that, that could be a nice short, like taking it down to this zone here, which is about 15,000. But no confirmation on that just yet. We're sort of still on the line right now. Interesting way to round out the year. Go back down to the 1 minute chart here. And couldn't quite get that break. It's had the change of character, and it's changed character back again. See, there's all these chopping and changing direction. Back below equilibrium. Yeah, let's play it safer and look for activity closer to the discount zone or closer to the premium, and we'll just do that. Let's see if that changes our luck. Well, not our luck, but our probability, because we don't trade off luck. This isn't a casino. Even though some people treat it like a casino. And you can treat it like a casino. You can just throw money blindly and just hope for the best, cross your fingers, and it's not advised though. It's not sustainable. So it looks like, we had our change of character there. I think it's looking more and more likely that we'll break this low. I don't know, it's playing games around this equilibrium, there's no commitment just yet in either direction. It's very choppy. Like, just look at this. This whole area has been just chopped. Maybe you could argue for a case of slight uptrend here, and then like this has been a very slight downtrend. But yeah, very choppy. Not good trading conditions. Trading is kind of like surfing. You want there to be a swell. You want the waves to be big. You want direction. If it's just you can't ride a wave that goes like this. It's just flat. It's a bit of a bummer, dude. I need to find like a meme for surf's not up. Here's a picture. This is exactly what's happening lately. This is what we've all been doing. Nothing's happening. Look at that. There's no waves on the beach. Nothing to ride. Sitting there with our eyes closed, relaxing, and we're praying for something like this, or we're dreaming about Let's have a look. We want this. Lots of volume, lots of direction, high volatility, big profits. Boxer Burn, how you doing? Block Chimp, Hussy. What's Discord doing? Is anyone bouncing around in Discord? By the way, if you haven't joined the Discord, I'm sure the 15 of you that are watching right now, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Discord. And you're probably the regulars. So I'm going to put it up anyway, the Discord link, just in case there's any newcomers here. I'll pin that to the top as well. I hope that link still works. It should still work. I think that's our permanent link. But yeah, free to join. TA23, how you doing? Fred Gonzalez. You're welcome, Fred. I haven't seen your name before, so welcome to the stream, man. This is a sign where, you know, we're either at or at the beginning of a crypto winter when there's only 19 people in these live streams, and it's just, you know, the diehard regulars, like, you know, like you and me. Whoever's listening to this, you guys are paying attention when it matters. You're looking for that opportunity, so well done. If you can get through this, you can get through anything. This is like as bad as it usually gets, I think. I mean, we've seen some really ugly moves down. Yeah. Still here working in the background. Van Diemen Adventures. No worries, man. Alright, so we're back below equilibrium. So we're coming into more of a discount zone, hopefully. Things are very slow. I'm really looking forward to a stream, guys, where there's a big trend happening. Then I can, you know, things are happening in real time and we can actually play something out. But it's like trying to draw blood from a stone lately. It's just so slow. Like these little glimpses, these little, I don't know, it's like slightly exciting and then it just goes flat. You know, back to nothing. There's just no volume. Hopefully, the new year and like the stock market going back into full action. And, you know, even the CPI report brings back the noise. You know, we need that noise. We need that volatility back. Just a little bit more volume. We are inching closer to CPI, so that could be a fun day. I'll definitely try to stream that. Yeah, that's it, Serrano. I should be looking at something that moves more. Scalping Bitcoin's a bit painful right now because it's so flat. Let's do that. Let's look at Solana. So Solana down on the 1 minute. Hasn't really moved just yet today. 0% up or down. Just looking at, is there anything that's on trend right now in my watch list? This is like the high. ICP is up 0.5%. Let's go to a larger watch list. Let's go. I think I've got the most on my Bybit watch list here. Okay, SXP is up 2.3. Waves is up 2.2. EGLD almost up 1%. Tough times, eh? That's a watch list of almost 180 different coins, and the best we've got so far is at 2.3. So it's a slow start. That's okay. It's a slow start to the day. I think things tend to move a little bit slower when the stock market's closed. We are heading into a weekend. This is a Saturday candle for UTC. So yeah, you know, just prepare for that. It could be quite boring and flat for the next 48 hours. Seems to be the trend anyway. Solana, yeah, damn, what a dip, huh? Nice and boring. Let me just open up my, let's go look at my ugly trade. My Bybit position. Here we go. 25 bucks. I think I might just chuck it back into my margin here. I was playing around with a couple of bucks just for fun. But I think I'm gonna put it all back in here. 7868. Alright. So yeah, this guys, this is, as you know, some of you may know, this is a bit more of like a longer term swing trade. I haven't even started to dollar cost average yet. My leverage is down. My effective leverage. Oh, T Black, $20 super chat. Thanks, dude. You're amazing. No, you are. Thanks, man. Appreciate the support. Yeah, I've managed to slide this back down to 1.17x. So that's the kind of level that I'm comfortable for averaging. I don't want to average in on leverage, just because I don't want to get ahead of myself like I did on my entry. I think I jumped the gun a bit and I got stuck. This is my position up here. So through all of this, all I've been doing is replenishing my margin to match the value of the trade. See, there's the value of the trade. My margin used to be like a couple of $100, right? With the value being 4,000. So now that I've put more margin in, it's rebalancing, and it's affording me to get my liquidation price down. So I'm 3,500 now. My liquidation's all the way down here. So I guess the more time that goes by, like, the more comfortable I can get this away. Let me just update this. It's 3.5. Okay. We go to the weekly, just looking at the structure. I think I've managed to get it below the COVID dip. Just open this up. Bitcoin. Let's go weekly. Let's go full screen. That. Yeah, so if I just change this to 3.5. You can see the smart money indicator is indicating that this zone down here is the discount zone. Purely because that was the low, right? That doesn't mean we're going to go down there necessarily, but Hey, anything's possible. Like, obviously anything's possible. But is it probable? That's the difference there. Just a second. Rick, could you please tell me the difference between spot leverage trading, max 10x, and futures leverage trading up to 95x on Binance? Sure. So, spot leverage trading, known as margin trading, you're using the actual asset. Like let's say we're talking Bitcoin. You're using Bitcoin. You're buying and selling actual Bitcoin. Whereas with futures, or the so-called derivatives, which futures falls under, you're buying and selling contracts. So you're not actually buying and selling the underlying asset. You're just buying a contract that represents the performance of the spot price. So, but essentially, like the mechanics are very similar. Like it works the same. You know, the leverage. You know, you're going to get the same performance out of margin trading at 10x than you are with futures at 10x. It's the same performance, or at least it should be. But yeah, it just depends whether you want to use the actual asset as collateral or whether you want to just go into a contract. I mean, I don't really see the benefit of doing the whole margin trading on spot. I think the derivatives market, like with futures, is just better set up for trading with leverage. So yeah, the derivatives, like with the derivatives, yeah, you're right. Like the maximums are different. So with spot, because you're trading the actual asset, it's having an impact on price, like the actual traded price of Bitcoin. Whereas with futures, it's a bet on the performance of the spot market. So it doesn't actually impact the spot market at all, the derivatives market. So it's its own sort of thing. Only buying and selling of actual Bitcoin affects Bitcoin's market cap. You can do anything you want on a derivative exchange like that looks at Bitcoin, but it's separate. It's a different thing, and that's why there's the crazy leverages and things on there because yeah. Does that clear that up? Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, the game can be a lot crazier on derivatives. When you're talking actual assets, like that's when it's a bit more controlled. And like the maximum on Binance is 10x for it because they may not have the reserve necessary to be able to provide 95x on Bitcoin on the spot market. There wouldn't be enough liquidity to produce, like to provide that. But yeah, like every exchange has limits. Like you can't bring $1 billion onto Binance and put it at 100x. Like for 100 billion, like they've got limits. There's caps. But yeah, I don't know. The more VIP your status is on your exchange, the more the more uncapped it is. But there are still limits. There's limits for how much you can bring on and how much leverage you can put it at any one time, like in a single transaction. You know, obviously, like it's unlimited how much you can deposit, but in any one go, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's limits. But yeah, I don't think any of us have to worry about that. I don't, unless there's some secret whales in the mix in these, in the 20 people that are sitting in this stream. And if there are any secret billionaires sitting in the stream, why don't you splash some super chat? I'm just kidding. Maybe T Black's he is the billionaire whale. Just kidding. I think all the billionaire traders are busy on their luxury super yachts, getting ready for New Year's Eve, popping champagne bottles and celebrating another successful year of trading. Because you're only trading money on futures, correct, and can never end up with Bitcoin in your wallet. Yeah, that's it. So you would have to take your profits from the derivatives platform or market and then physically buy the asset to hold it, like to hold Bitcoin. So technically, like I've put all this money into this trade, right? But I'm not holding any crypto. This is all Tether. It's kind of scary because there is a little bit of FUD around Tether, and you know, people with theories that it's insolvent, that kind of thing, that they don't actually have the money to back, you know, the asset, the quote unquote asset of a Tether, like dollar for dollar, right? One Tether equals $1. But yeah, like let's look at that. What is the market cap of Tether right now? It's $66.2 billion market cap, Tether. So that means they have to have $66.2 billion of fiat to back each of those Tether tokens, right? Serrano says, it's not a theory, we know they don't. So apparently someone's looked into their books. They've looked into their bank accounts and confirmed that there is no fiat backing the Tether. Okay. Well, if that's the case, damn, that's scary. So that means if there was a bank run on Tether, if every single person wanted to change their Tether out for fiat, they wouldn't have the funds to cover it. It would be an FTX repeat of FTX on a much larger scale. I think Tether's obviously a lot bigger than FTX was, right? $66.2 billion. Scary. What was FTX? 10 billion? 12 billion? I don't know. What was the valuation at? I don't even know. It was nowhere near 66.2, put it that way. Yeah, a collapse of Tether would be devastating. Shit. Yeah, so FTX was a fraction of what Tether is. Tether's a huge thing. Yeah. Okay. So 3 times. Put it this way, I don't think anyone should be praying or hoping for the collapse of Tether, because that would put things seriously, like, and it's the same thing with Binance. No one should be praying for the collapse of Binance that cares about crypto, right? Because I mean, it'd be very nasty to any kind of, like, you know, it's suffered a lot this year. Crypto has suffered a lot this year because of FTX. And for it to take another hit like Binance going down or Tether going down, like, I don't know. It'd take a long time to recover off something like that, if at all, right? Yeah, that's right. Well, all of that volume, and does that volume stay in crypto as well? That's the question. Or does it go, does it leave crypto? Does it go back into fiat, back into stocks, back into, Forex? All of that value, all of that money, liquidity. See, the thing with FTX, the big thing that differs, and obviously he hasn't been to court yet, but it's not looking good for him. He committed fraud, right? He stole funds. He used customers' funds. Is there evidence of any other exchange doing that, like that exists today, that's still afloat and still working and functioning? Especially Binance, right? Like, is there evidence of Binance commingling funds? And no, there's not. So I don't think Binance is going to be like an FTX 2.0. But yeah, they've been heavily scrutinized, and rightly so. Like, we gotta make sure these big players in this industry are reliable as possible, right? See, the thing is, CZ made a pretty good point, is exchanges in crypto have to be even more transparent than banks. Banks don't have to share shit with the public. It's all private, what they get up to. We don't know what happens behind the scenes. All we know is that they get bailed out when shit hits the fan. The banks, right? So the problem was with FTX is that Sam Bankman-Fried was trying to run FTX like a bank. Except, nah, it don't work like that, buddy. Like, you don't have a free pass to operate like the big boys do. You don't have the backing of the government. Even though you think that you did, because you paid everyone, like you bought all these politicians and you paid probably countless, media outlets, and yeah. Kissing ass like that doesn't buy you immunity. He was trying to, I don't know, like, maybe he was trying to, like, become part of that club, and maybe he will. We'll see. He still has to have his day in court, but it's not looking good for him. Yeah, fractional crypto banking. See, the thing is, though, he's an exchange. He's not a bank. Even though, like, it functions almost similar to a bank, because you have customers and they're depositing their money into it, and it's their responsibility to hold those funds one-to-one, right? That's the weird thing. The crazy thing is banks, like real banks, like Bank of America, Citibank, they don't have to hold things one-to-one. They can do this fractional reserve banking. And they've got limits on withdrawals. Whereas in crypto, you can withdraw 100% of what's in there, no questions asked, if you want to. There's no limits. I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't know. Serrano, can you clear that up? Like, can you withdraw everything at once? Let's say you have $10 million on Binance. Can you make a $10 million withdrawal all at once? it would definitely cause a stir, if at all. You'd probably have to have like, yeah, you'd have to have the VIP status. I'm gonna look that up. What are the VIP status? What does it get you on Binance? The VIPs. Here it is. Here's the table of contents. Trader, investor, VIP, borrower. Okay. Maybe I'm on the wrong page, but let me look it up. Binance deposit limits or withdrawal limits. In a 24-hour period. Like, obviously you can withdraw 100%, but just not all at once. Here we go. Within a 24-hour period, you can withdraw the 2,000 USDT. 1 BTC will remain in their account. Maybe that's an example. Let me just open up this article here. It's to do with, oh, P2P. Yeah, okay. Bank transfer, just raw bank transfer. US dollar transfers. The limits. Key search. Word limit. Yeah, anyway, different exchanges have different limits. There's deposit and withdrawal. I'm sure the answers are out there. I'm just couldn't be bothered looking for them right now. That was my effort. All right, let's go back to just see how, ooh, look at this. We got our break of structure to the downside. So we found a direction finally. We're in the discount zone. See that? That's what we wanted. So this move here, that's what we want for trading. Just clean direction. Commitment in one direction. These break of structures are beautiful for signals, like for entries on shorts. And you can see like it's going in that direction and not looking back. Like if you take the break of structure, and if you were to open on the break of structure here and set the stop just above the previous swing, it did not come back to that zone at all. Just took it one direction. So those are the conditions you want to trade in. You know, if you're getting a bunch of chop throughout the day, don't trade. Like it's too, there's not enough bias in either direction to trade that. So yeah, better to just wait for the right conditions. And at least you're not losing money in that in that regard. You're not making it, but you're not losing it. So wait for the more obvious days to trade. And it's just about stacking the deck in your favor. Like you want to have as much going for you as possible when you're trading. some of these lines here. So we've had a bit of a higher time frame change of character potentially here. See that? That just popped up. This CHOCH change of character. Could be a liquidity grab. See how it just went beyond, just a little beyond this wick here? That's what you call a swing failure or liquidity grab if price was to come back up and rally back up again. That's to fool people into taking shorts at that level, at that quote-unquote break of structure, right? But yeah, this is a very critical level right here. This is actually not a bad area if you have the ability to go onto hedge mode, where you open a short and a long at the same point with stop losses set. The incorrect direction stops out. Let's say it goes up, then yeah, you're in a position from that point in time, and the winning direction, you know, gets you a nice entry. Just as an example. So no advice there, but it's just something that exists, a strategy that exists that you could consider. Just trying to see if there's any. There's no divergence on the 1 minute chart. Not since back over here where there was bearish divergence. But even that didn't really result in a fall in price terribly. So maybe we're going to look for higher time frame. Let's start on obviously the weekly. We've got bullish divergence on the cards. On the daily, we had some bullish divergence back here in mid-November, which has since already played out. Like that's what caused this this little rally up to 18,380 odd. But yeah, like we are kind of like in the middle of the road here. We haven't gone overbought or oversold on the daily just yet. Not since back in November. So yeah, we are like kicking the can at the moment. Kicking the can down the road, just putting off, you know, these extreme conditions. Maybe we'll have to wait until the 12th of January, CPI, right? For that volatility to come back in. But yeah, look at this. RSI was riding high for a long time here. See that? So it was due for a swing down when it did. Like it was overdue. If you, yeah, that's hanging up there for quite some time there on the daily stochastic. It hasn't really done that for a long time. Let's just try to go back. Not since, you know, we were trading up near the all-time high did it do that for like an extended period, just chopping at a level, stochastically speaking, right? It'd be good to see that on the bottom side, like on the sell side. This is interesting. It looks divergent on the daily, doesn't it? We've got higher lows on stochastic, but equal low on price from that same range there. See? Equal low here, higher low here. So that is somewhat of bullish divergence, if you ask me. But I don't know, I do want to see this resolve, this rising wedge. I want to see it come down and hit 15, and then we bounce into CPI. That'd be really cool. Just be so clean and obvious, you know. But yeah, there's still a couple of weeks left, or just under 2 weeks left until CPI, which I project to be positive. I think the CPI release is going to be a bullish release. I don't think there's a forecast just yet for what numbers they're expecting. You know, maybe they'll start putting out forecasts, you know, closer to the date. Yeah, see, they haven't populated anything for forecasts just yet. Maybe in about a week's time, we'll start getting forecasts for CPI. But yeah, early January, so 5th of January, we have an FOMC meeting minutes report. So we'll see if that's gonna give us any kind of enlightenment into what they have planned for the start of the year. So here it says more hawkish than expected is good for currency. So just replace this word currency with DXY. And we don't want the DXY to be good. We want it to be bad. We want it to be bad for DXY. We want that DXY to come down. That's the way I look at it. Binance has the BTC. The issue with them is it's private, a company that is. They don't have to operate or divulge info on where the cash goes, most importantly, who it goes to. Yeah, right. What's Solana up to? Ooh, spikes. Has anyone been trading any alts lately? Let me know in the comments if you've traded any alts in the last like 24 hours. Solana has been good over the previous 24 hours has been good for Solana. Like there's been a lot of volatility. So Serrano has been trading Solana. Cool. It's in an uptrend on the lower time frames, so that's cool. That red line there is the price to beat to continue any kind of move up. Man, I'm getting hungry. How long's the stream been on for? An hour and a half. Yeah, look, I think it's probably about time to wrap this one up. We'll keep our eye on the charts. It's the final day of the year. Not really expecting a whole lot. But yeah, come, you know, first day of the new year will be interesting. Like stock market opens up. Will that be Monday or Tuesday? I'm not sure. We'll see. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys, and thanks for your continued support with the channel. It's always a pleasure to come on here and give it my best shot with analysis, that kind of thing. But yeah, take care and have an awesome and safe Happy New Year's Eve. And I will see you in the next stream. All right. See you guys.